HIMS stock is absolutely soaring today, extending the gains from the after hours yesterday. As of recording this video, the stock is up nearly 33% in one day. Yes, you heard that correct. 33% in a single trading day. We're going to talk about why the stock is soaring so much, and we'll talk about whether or not it's too late to buy or if there's still some really good value here. I'm super excited to get into this today, but before we do, if you're new here, thank you for being here. I'm Austin. I'm a co-owner of cloudbusinessweek.com. I'm a stock market investor, and most importantly for this video, I am a shareholder of HIMS and Hers Health, which is ticker HIMS. It's a small position that I opened shortly after releasing my video on my YouTube channel about HIMS stock, if you saw that one. When I recorded that video, HIMS was in the $8 range, and now here today, HIMS is over $13 a share. Would have been a really nice gain if you were able to get in at those $8 range, right? So we're up very nicely since the December levels of the mid 8s to the low 9s. Real quick, if you're not subscribed to the channel, become one of those 3,200 or so people. Means a lot, helps out the video in a massive way, and drop a like while you're at it. Thank you so much for doing that. Okay, why is HIMS and Hers Health up so much? Because they just reported their full year 2023 earnings and their Q4 2023 earnings. The earnings were stellar, but even more important than that, they issued guidance for full year 2024 in this earnings report as well, and that is one of the main reasons that this stock is up. So we'll get into that guidance here in a little bit, but I do want to talk about what they reported for full year 2023 and Q4 of 2023 first. So let's start with the headline numbers with a ridiculous 65% year-over-year growth for full year 2023 relating to full year 2022. The revenue was all the way up to $872 million with HIMS. They achieved positive net income in Q4 of 2023 of $1.2 million, and that's up over $12 million on a year-over-year basis relating to Q4 of 2022. Subscribers from Q4 of 2022 to Q4 of 2023 were up 48% year over year, and the management team provided guidance for revenue for full year 2024 in the range of $1.17 billion to $1.20 billion. This is a company that has a history of beating their guidance numbers, so I'm going to go to the high end of the range, and if we just do a little percent change calculation, that would be 37.6% year over year growth from 2023 to 2024 on the revenue side, if they hit that $1.2 billion revenue mark. Although that's a lot lower than the 65% number they just clocked, a 37.6% revenue growth number is really ridiculously high and extremely impressive. And while that revenue number is very impressive and very important, there's one sentence here that's even more important and one of the main reasons that HIMS and Hers Health is up over 30% in a single day. So check it out. 2024, we expect to eclipse $1 billion in revenue. We already talked about that. And then here's the huge part. And deliver our first full year of net income profitability through a continued focus on building personalized and accessible treatments in each of our core specialties. That is huge. For a growth company like HIMS and Hers Health that has 65% growth last year, near 40% growth expected this year, for them to be at those type of revenue growth numbers and flipping the profitability corner to now be a net income positive company rather than a net income negative company, that is why this stock is getting so much love right now. This opens up a massively larger shareholder base of people who don't want to own unprofitable companies, especially in high rate environment times. The fact that HIMS and Hers Health is able to flip to profitability through these high rate environment times, imagine what they would be doing if we get Fed cuts in the back half of 2024 and 2025 when the high rates are not an issue, whenever consumer spending is not an issue, whenever the economy is in an even better spot and inflation numbers come down and come down and come down, and they're able to bring those Fed funds rates numbers down and spending gets back in a more healthy spot. Just imagine what they're going to be able to do in a rate environment like that. The management team is proving that no matter what type of economic landscape we have, they are going to deliver results and they're going to come through with the numbers quarter in and quarter out no matter what. Let's get into some fourth quarter 2023 specific numbers. Revenue is $246.6 million in the fourth quarter compared to $167 million in the fourth quarter of 2022, which represents a 47% increase on a year-over-year basis. Look at this. Gross margin was 83% for the fourth quarter of 2023 compared to 79% of the fourth quarter of 2022. A 79% gross margin was already extremely impressive, and that's the number I saw, somewhere around a 79 or an 80% whenever I was diving into this company back in December. Now they've increased that by a whole 4 percentage points, not 4 basis points, but 4 percentage points up to 83% in just a 1-year span in a high rate environment time. Gross margin of 83% is very, very impressive. That's in line with, one of my bigger positions, one of these software plays like PLTR. And with a gross margin of 83%, similar to somebody like PLTR, similar to somebody like Salesforce, this company is sitting at a price to sales of only 2.69. That's compared to PLTR's price to sales of nearly a 25 right now. Salesforce sitting at a price to sales of 8.5. That's still multiple times higher for the same type of gross margin business. And now we can't say, hey, yeah, HIMS and HERS Health, yeah, they've got the same type of gross margin, but they're a money loser. Not anymore. Now they're a money maker, and they've guided that full year 2024 will be their first full year of net income positive as well. So you can't say that negatively either. The bear points around HIMS and HERS Health are starting to dissolve quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter, and it's going to be an undeniable stock in due time. Back to the fourth quarter highlights. Net income was $1.2 million. We already talked about that. That's compared to a loss of $10.9 million 1 year ago. Adjusted EBITDA, $20.6 million for the fourth quarter compared to $3.9 million a year ago. Net cash from operating activities, $22 million versus a net loss from operating activities of $6.7 million in the year ago quarter. And free cash flow is all the way up to $10.8 million compared to a free cash flow loss of $9.3 million in the year ago quarter. They're flipping the profitability corner. It's amazing to see. They're doing a great job running the business. Very excited. The balance sheet's still amazing, leading to enterprise value considerably lower than market cap. Check it out here. Cash and short-term investments, $96 million with total assets of $441 million. We look at total liabilities, not current liabilities, not long-term liabilities, but total liabilities, $97 million. So just in cash and cash equivalents, not even counting short-term investments, they could pay off almost 100% of their liabilities today. The balance sheet is insane. Love to see that. Checking out the income statement, there's some really good things we can see here. Gross margins increasing substantially from 79% to 83%, comparing Q4 2022 to Q4 2023. Operating expenses are rising, but they're not rising as fast as revenue, leading to an income of operations of negative $400,000. They're so close to being income from operations positive. That is definitely the next step for this company, and I see that happening in either Q1 of 2024 or Q2 of 2024. We'll see, but it won't be long before they get income from operations being positive, and that's the next feather in the cap that will absolutely lead HIMS and HERS Health to another leg up in the stock price. It's cool to have net income being positive, but if it's coming from interest income and it's not income from operations, it's really not de-risking the business as much as someone might think, because Fed funds rate being 5.5% is not going to last forever. We got to see those income from operations numbers flipping to positive within the next 2 quarters, in my opinion, for me to stay a happy shareholder. So all in all, crazy amazing quarter, crazy amazing year in 2023, and they've guided that 2024 is going to be absolutely special for the company. Do I think the stock is a buy right now, or do I think it's overvalued, and do I think that 30% rise should make you chill on your purchases a little bit? In general, an 80% gross margin company that's flipping to net income profitability, that's about to flip to operating income profitability, that has somewhere near 40% revenue growth expected for 2024, just coming off a 65% revenue growth for the full year 2023, and that stock is at roughly a 2.7 price to sales. When we compare other gross margin companies that have way less revenue growth, that are also net income profitable, that are also operating income profitable, and they're at price to sales of 8, 9, 10, 15, 20, or 25, right? I think this is a screaming buy still. HIMS and HERS Health, to me, is still a screaming buy. I will continue to pick up shares. Really, really well-run company. They're continuing to expand their footprint. They are absolutely the leader in their space, and they're killing it on the telehealth side. A lot of people don't like to get into healthcare plays at all. If that's the boat you're in, total respect to you. If it's not the right stock for you, it's not a buy. If you can't get excited about owning the company, it's not a buy. But if you like the valuation and you're excited where the net income numbers are going to go, net income growth numbers, operating income growth numbers. It's going to be an awesome story throughout 2024, throughout 2025, and throughout 2026, in my opinion. And I can't wait to see where the management team is able to take it. To me, the stock is absolutely a buy still. Yes, it's up 30%. Yeah, it would have been nice to pick up a bunch of shares one day ago. But you know what? If we think this stock is going to command a 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 price to sales, or maybe even higher, and we're sitting at roughly a 2.7 price to sales right now, it's really a no-brainer in my opinion. Yes, it's hard to value on a forward PE basis right now. Yes, it's hard to value on a PEG ratio basis right now, but those numbers are coming, and it's going to increase the buying pressure on the stock in a major way as they record more and more and more quarters of net income positive. And even better than that, they're about to flip to operating income profitability as well, and that's going to be the next leg up for the stock. Can't wait to see it happen. Every single quarter is going to be a banger this year for HIMS and HERS. I don't see them missing on revenue numbers or net income numbers at all throughout 2024. Super excited to be a shareholder. Let me know your thoughts on HIMS and HERS health stock in the comments below. I want to hear about it. I want to hear if you're holding shares, if you're buying shares right now, if you sold your shares into this strength. Definitely one of my favorite parts of posting here on YouTube is looking at your comments, having some conversation with you guys down there. If you are a shareholder, congratulations on the 30% move that we saw in a single day. Absolutely ridiculous. Congrats. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day.